Hello you guys, welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to go over some things that have helped us since we went down to one income. It was when we had two incomes, it was a heck of a lot easier. Things flowed a lot smoother. But when we went down to one income, we had to be more deliberate than we already were. So one thing we did is we get paid every week. And so I broke our house payment into four. I didn't pay it 4 different times, but in my check register or wherever you keep track of all your expenses and all of that, I just, when I put the paycheck in, I just deduct a quarter of what it is. So let's say it's $2,000. I put $500 back, right? I just kind of deduct that out of my check register, pretend it's not there until the end of the month, and I add up, say we're going with 500, all of those $500, and make my house payment because it's not in my working part of all of those numbers. The second thing I did is made darn sure I knew when all of my bills were due. And so the point of that is basically what I'm doing now is just budgeting by paycheck rather than once a month, because that way the money that comes in goes all the way through the month instead of, this whole feast or famine thing that people have going on. I did not want to have that going on because I have done that, been there, done that before. I'm not doing that. So that was the first thing I did, is I broke up our house payment into 4 different parts. Now, if I got paid only twice a month, I break it into 2. It'd say we're going with the $2,000 scenario. I would break the $2,000 into, I'd hold $1,000 back from each paycheck so that I made sure I could make the house payment. So that's the first thing I did. Second thing, which we've been doing this for a long time, but a lot of people don't, and I think it's really important, is to make your groceries and your gas a bill. And so, like with us, what I do is our grocery budget is $400 a month. There's this bug that's just driving me crazy. Okay. Oh, sorry. It's $400 a month. And so I take out in cash $100 every single week. And then that way I have money all the way through the month. Now, if I got paid only twice a month, I would take out $200 and put that in an envelope. And then I have full control of my cash envelope, right? Because you can see what's in there. It doesn't have anything to do with your checkbook or bank account or anything. What's there is there. And so in my head, that makes it so much easier because let's just say you're at the grocery store, you're tallying up as you go because that's also important. And you see they have Cheetos on sale, right? And you really want to get them, but you only have $7 left because you've been calculating as you're going through the store. But you would rather have that $7 left to add to next week's budget than you would, getting the Cheetos. So I do that a lot. Whatever I don't spend, I carry over. Like last week, I only spent $41. So the rest of it carried over to this coming up week. Anyway, that's another thing. Another thing I did was, which we've also been doing for a while, but it is so helpful. I'm glad I already was in the rhythm of it, is I made gas a bill quite some time ago, but I'm so glad I did that because then it wasn't a shock and it's not something I had to learn, right? Because when you have gas as part of your bills, you're not, or groceries, say, you're not doing the whole, well, whatever's left is what we have for gas or groceries or whatever. No. If you make it a bill, you have guaranteed yourself that you have gas and you have groceries. You have gas to get to work and you have food in your belly. And when you have food in your belly, you're a lot happier. At least I am. I know everybody else is too. But nobody wants to be grumpy and hungry and all of that. Nobody does. This is the best way I've found to do that, is to break it up in, for example, the groceries. Put it in the cash envelope, because that way you're not going to overspend. You can't. It's cash. You only got what you got in there. So, and the gas, same scenario. It keeps you from, just deciding, oh yeah, we're going to go down to the coast. And unless you put some more money in that gas envelope, you're probably not going to go spending gas when it's $5 a gallon right now. And it's super important. You need that gas to be able to get back and forth to work. I've heard so many people where I worked say that they couldn't get to work, or they couldn't, get to work past Wednesday because they didn't have any more gas money, which blows my mind, but I understand where it comes from, because years ago, that's exactly where I was, until I understood the concept of making it a bill. It just makes everything so much smoother, and you don't have the feast or famine thing going on, which is terrible. You're living it up for 2 weeks of the month, and then the other 2 weeks of the month, you're starving to death, or you only have gas to get to work, and on payday, you're just hoping to God that, you don't run out of gas. Anyway, just some things that we've been doing to help us, and I'm sure, these scenarios could help anybody. These tips could help anybody. If you have any more, I'll be doing these, here and there as they come to me, of things I think you might be interested in. But if you have any tips, leave them down in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. All right, bye.